Hi Taurus, this is your 2016 horoscope with me, Lada from astrolada.com, for everyone who has their ascendant, sun or moon in Taurus. Usually women tend to identify a lot with the moon sign predictions, but even men would feel them on some level. And people born during the night, they feel the moon prediction very strongly. I personally feel 3 of my predictions. The ascendant sign shows your physical body, your specific tangible events that happen to you while you're walking in this physical body, in this physical reality. So it's very important as well to check. And the sun, everyone checks the sun sign anyway. And if you don't know your ascendant or moon sign, you need to find out your time of birth from your birth certificate. And you can go to my birth chart calculator, enter your details, and you go to the planetary detail table, and you're going to see. You can even write down the degrees. Say you have moon in Taurus at 25 degrees. And if I mention that degree, what I'm talking about, you'll definitely feel it. Or you might have ascendant at 5 degrees Taurus. Listen to the prediction for Taurus. Okay, so what does 2016 bring Taurus? Let's start with the more difficult part. Whatever Saturn is, this is where we have to be very careful. This is where the universe corrects our negligence, corrects the mistakes we've made. If we've been able to hide those mistakes till now, when Saturn transits that house, they come to the surface. So Saturn is in your 8th house in 2016 and 2017 as well, which is a financial house, especially to do with finances connected to partners, to mutual resources, to business partnerships, money connected to banks, basically resources that come to you with others or through others, or that resources that you're involved together your money with someone else. For example, when I had Saturn transiting my 8th house, because Saturn is a restrictive planet, my husband had to go study MBA. That's like 50,000 pounds. So we had to get these loans, and we had to be super tight, and I was not making money then, and I was just changing from astrology into, from waitressing to astrology, so it was a financially difficult, tight period. So Saturn can create this tightness financially. But it's usually good because maybe your partner is investing in something long-term which will pay off after that. And it's good to be a bit more cautious financially. And somehow your finances might depend on others in some way, because 8th house is other people's actions and talents and resources. So you might have to maybe cooperate with others to fare better financially. You might have to maybe ask for financial advice as well in some way. Or maybe you might have to work hard on some business which can bring you financial rewards a bit later on, but now you're doing the investment with a business partner or working with clients, because 8th house is clients' money, business partners' money, money that's owed to you, money that comes to you, money that you can generate through others or with others, or your clients' money, or your business partner's money, your marriage partner's money. So if you work on some budget or some project now, this can consolidate and solidify your mutual resources or your benefits from those other sources into the future. But don't expect to see the results as long as Saturn is still in your 8th house, because now you're doing the hard work. You're correcting what is not working there to make it better, and you're laying the hard work in the foundations. And after that, when Saturn moves from your 8th house, you're going to start seeing results of those hard efforts to improve, to consolidate mutual finances, to stabilize them. But people who have been irresponsible with bank loans, with money of others, with handling clients' money, might find it a little bit tougher. Maybe if your partner has been irresponsible, you might all of a sudden find yourself having to support a partner or a resource outside that you relied on, which is 8th house, might be cut off from you. Say you go to university and your parents say, we're not going to help you, you have to work for yourself now. Or say you divorce and you no longer get, maybe for a couple of years till the divorce settlement is decided, you can't rely on a partner's finances. Sometimes situations like that can happen. And there can be a loss of a source of financial stability, which is dependent on other people. But at the same time, this is a resource which was already somehow, let's say, outdated or unhealthy for you in some way. So the universe will push you to find new such resources and not new gold digging ways, but just to find new ways to stabilize your finances. And you have to be very careful when it comes to taxes. Make sure you sort out your taxes, Taurus. Make sure you pay everything exactly, because Saturn brings out errors to the surface. You're more likely to get a tax return check now, or you're more likely, you might have to deal with certain papers and arranging some inheritances. This is the 8th house. And if you've been good with your taxes, this can actually be great, because Saturn rewards hard workers, people who've been putting their matters in order the previous years, especially such financial matters. Saturn can reward you. Saturn can bring you more, more stable finances, can bring some inheritance sometimes even, can bring some support from outside, but you have to also maybe from older people, maybe from more structured organizations, which is Saturnian in nature, more hierarchical organizations that you can receive financial support with, more traditional type of organizations. But people who are not very responsible, they might have some tightening up. But on the good side, it might be certain investment that you're doing, some business investment, long-term investment. That's why you have to tighten things up. Okay, on the psychological level, the 8th house is sexuality and intimacy. And you might feel like there might be a little bit of a disconnection sexually, might be drifting apart sexually with a partner. Sometimes that happens. And if you don't work hard on it, Saturn can show that, oh my God, are we in a sexless marriage or relationship? Why is it? And Saturn will force you to examine what are the reasons of diminishing of intimacy, not only sexual, but emotional intimacy as well as the 8th house. And when you look at those issues, you'll be able to work on them, maybe go to a sex specialist or relationship counselor or something to remove barriers or that come from secrets or not communicating or not being intimate. They're the deeper psychological reasons. What are they? They're reasons of trust. They're reasons of trust issues that can come to the surface for you to deal with now. So it might be a bit psychologically more tense, but also if you've had a sexual problem, you can work on it now with a psychologist or someone. You can work with certain exercises to improve that, because Saturn rewards hard efforts, but it's not going to improve your sex life by nothing, And maybe it's time to detach from certain attachments in regards to sexual matters as well, because Saturn can bring certain detachment. Okay, and drying up of things. Okay, that sounds so bad, Saturn in the 8th house. But Saturn also can help you face your demons, because Saturn, the 8th house is the house of things that control us, that have more power over us. Sometimes it can be addictions, other people, things that overwhelm us, paranoias, fears. These are all 8th house, psychologically deep-rooted traumas that we don't even remember, that come to play game and havoc with our, with our emotional states, and with how open we can be with others, how healthy psychologically we are. And Saturn can cut a lot of that wood in that way. And it can be like, it doesn't do it with a soft hand, Saturn in the 8th house. No, Saturn makes you confront your deepest demons, and Mars will join Saturn there in your 8th house, which is Mars is a natural, digs deep and, transforms. It's the natural house of Mars. So you might have some psychological big transformation. First, like psychological crisis, when some trauma you have to work on from the past lifetimes, that comes to the surface, and that you overcome it and you become psychologically more healthy. And psychologically, after that, by the end of Saturn's stay in the 8th house, by 2018 or 17, when it comes out, you'll be psychologically stronger. You won't be afraid anymore. You'd have faced some of your bigger demons face on and spat in their face, or been able to work over them and been able to detach yourself. A fear is a fear until we face it and we detach from it. And this is what Saturn helps to do. So it's a very good time, if you have any such skeletons in the closet, to work with a psychologist, to work hard on those issues, self-help books, read such things, astrology. Work hard on astrology, on exploring the deeper motivations and reasons of your psychology. It's not an easy process, it's a painful process. Saturn in the 8th house gives big psychological transformations, but never in an easy way. And you might have a lot of resistance initially, because Saturn in the 8th, you feel you have to change, but you don't know how to change psychologically. You're in the darkness, and out of circumstances or certain crisis make you go that direction anyway. Sometimes you have to be careful, because Mars in the 8th and Saturn in the 8th, watch out for certain accidents and things like that. That's not necessary. It doesn't have to happen, but there is a bigger likelihood. So be aware of that. And it might put you in some crisis situations where you are asked to react very fast. When you're asked to react, on the spot, and you have to keep your cool, and everything will be okay after that. But certain situations can shock you a little bit, can surprise you, because this is the nature of the 8th house, reversals, changes, but they help us have psychological transformation, so to speak, because nothing like a shock can get us out of a comfortable position and help us transform something deep inside. Okay. Let's see, where is Jupiter? Wherever Jupiter is, it helps you. And Jupiter in your horoscope will be in your 5th house. So you're having support. It's not only this dark 8th house things with Saturn. And it's, Saturn is always somewhere in your horoscopes. Always you have to work on some problem, and you have to be more serious and responsible in some area of life. And always some problems can come if you have not been careful in that area. But there is always Jupiter in your horoscope, where things will be happening better, where things will, they flow, there are new opportunities, you have the green light to make new mistakes if you want, or to take advantage of those opportunities. And Jupiter is in your 5th house of romance, first of all. So some romance can come in your life, and new romantic relationships, and falling in love, opening the heart and falling in love. For example, I got engaged when Jupiter was in my 5th house. But with Saturn at the same time in the 8th house, this new relationship of falling in love, or a lover if you have already, a romantic relationship that exists in your life already, because Saturn is in the 8th house, you might have to understand, there might, some problems can come about intimacy and sharing, and even going to sexuality, and you have to solve them, and hopefully this romantic relationship will be saved this way, or it will bring you the awareness of those issues as well. 5th house is also your children, and when Jupiter is in the 5th house, you have an easier chance to get pregnant, you have an easier chance to have a child, You have it's easier and more supported, something good to happen in the life of your child. Maybe it wins some award, or maybe you feel proud because of your child. When my mom had Jupiter in her 5th house, I got married, so she was very happy, She thought I'll never get married. She thought I'll stay a spinster. And so she was very happy, Jupiter in her 5th house. When 5th house is having your own business. So, what does it mean? Because 5th house is our children, our creations. And children, just like we raise a child, it's our creation, so is a business. No matter what your business is, even if it's your business of cleaning toilets, doesn't matter. It's your baby, you've raised it, you've nurtured it. No matter how it looks, it's your creative business, it's your business, It's your baby, so Jupiter can bring opportunities with ease, to expand your business, to have new ideas about how to improve your business, or even to go into business, get self-employed in some way. If you have already such indications in your horoscope, of course. And so that you have the green light in that area. And with Saturn in your 8th house of resources, you might have to budget somehow. Maybe that's why, maybe that's why you're budgeting financially and you're being more cautious, because you want to expand your business. So that's a good manifestation of that energy, But don't be reckless. Don't just go and spend crazy money, because you have to be cautious with Saturn when it's in the 8th house financially. But you can have the green light to expand with business, to get new ideas. You can be more creative. For example, I created a new website which really expanded my business when I had Jupiter in the 5th house. 5th house is your creative talents. So if you're in writing, in speaking, in art, in fashion, in all those more creative careers, Jupiter comes there, expands your creativity even more. You get inspiration left and right. You get center stage positions. It's very good for people in politics, in center stage position roles. They get, Jupiter helps with their confidence, with more charisma, with more center stage activities, with more inspiration and seducing others after you, engaging others, exciting them about yourself. That's why it's also good for romance and flirting, because you excite others about, not only about your creative ideas and who you represent in your career or in your goals, but also who you represent on a intimate level. So that's why others feel more attracted to you when Jupiter is in the 5th house. So you have green light in regards to those areas. You have to make effort as well, of course, but some important things can happen. Children, creative activities, if you have your own business, self-employed, romantic experiences. Okay, let's see what else is happening for you, Taurus. And Jupiter will specifically help very strongly Tauruses who have their ascendant or moon from 12 to 24 degrees in Taurus. It sends the trine aspect to you, Tauruses. And Jupiter is very supportive, very supportive. It's trine aspect to Taurus that it's making. So it means 12 to 24 degrees ascendant or moon, because Jupiter makes it 3 times. So you can really consolidate something in your life. Some opportunity comes to you, you can take advantage of it and you can make it happen. You can have a career breakthrough. If it's the sun, for example, if you're born from those degrees, 12 to 24 degrees with your sun there, which means that you're born from around the 2nd of May to around 13th, 14th of May approximately. Jupiter trines your sun, so you can have growth in your career, expansion, maybe get a promotion, maybe get recognition. Something good can happen in your life through male figures, authority figures, the man in your life, the father in your life. You have green light, things are very good and supportive, your confidence increases, doors open. When I had Jupiter trine my sign, Aries, the last year, my business was really good, and on many personal levels, Jupiter helps, protects you. Or your moon or ascendant, if they're in Taurus from 12 to 24 degrees, again, your personal life, moon is personal life, something good with property, expanding property with your family, something good can happen. In regards to personal matters, emotional connections and relationships, and in regards to finding new inspiration, direction in life, doors open for you. So this is what I see for you, Taurus. Thank you very much. Nothing else more specific. You can subscribe to my channel. There is just this tension that happens between 5th house and 8th house, and you have to combine those energies of other people's resources, intimacy and dating, or resources and dating, or business and resources, or your children and resources of some sort, or children and issues of trust, or psychological transformations and dating, or creative matters. Maybe creativity can help you resolve some psychological problems, or hang-ups, or or if you have some financial problem, maybe creativity or business, starting your own business, can help solve those problems. These two areas, Jupiter and Saturn, play together and intermingle with each other this year. Thank you very much, Taurus.